ladies, in this video we're going to go through the progress quiz for 5A and 5A to 5D, not just 5A and 5D, because we've got B and C in the middle. I've got a Word document up so we can do some working out if we need to, but some of the questions I will just need to talk to. Okay, so question 1, the product of 7 and t. So product means to multiply. So if we're multiplying 7 and t, it's 7 times t. Now in algebra, we tend not to write terms with the multiply sign. So if you've got, oops, come on, 7 times t, we just write that as 7t. Kind of think of it as if you wanted 7 tacos. We don't go saying, oh, Mum, for dinner, can I have 7 times tacos? It's just 7 tacos, but you know you've got 7 lots of tacos. That's a lot of tacos, but maybe they're mini tacos. Okay, question 2. How many terms are there in the expression? Now, terms are separated by a plus or a minus sign, so not a multiply sign. So this is just one term, not 2 separate terms. And they're not separated by a division sign either. So you can see B over 3 is its own term. Now, from what I've seen so far, students who got this wrong, they don't see the 8 as a term, but it is in fact a term. It's a constant term. So anything that is separated by a plus or a minus sign is a term. So we've got here 4 terms. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 8 being a constant term. Question 3, the expression 5 times x minus 2 times y divided by a can be written as. So we just write algebraic expressions without a multiply sign or a division sign. So we use what we call a vinculum, or we turn it into a fraction. So the 5 times x becomes 5x, and the 2 times y, so we've got minus 2y, and you can see that's all divided by a. So divide by a. All right, question 4. Start with r. Okay, so we're going to start with r, double it. So that means we've got 2 times r, and then add 11. Okay, so there we go. It's just 2r plus 11. The other ones you've got, so here we've added 2. Here we've subtracted 11, and the last one we're doubling r plus 11, which is different to just doubling r. So make sure you know the difference between those two. Question 5, choose the algebraic expression that describes the following problem. Okay, let's scroll down and give us some space to do some working out. Begin with r books, double that, so 2 times r, subtract 7, and then divide by 3. So it's going to look like that. Now, if you put divide by 3 here, we should have that in brackets, which is then the same as what we had originally. But in algebra, remember, we use the vinculum instead of the division sign for dividing. All right, question 6, if m equals 7 then, so this is just a substitution question. So when we rewrite or do any substitution, I like to put it in brackets. Now, it probably doesn't make much difference with, what am I thinking of? Negative numbers, positive numbers. But if it was a negative, it just helps us work with negatives a little bit better. So we do what we've got inside the bracket first. So leave the 3 at the front. So 7 minus 2 gives you 5. So there is like a little invisible multiply sign there. So effectively we're doing 3 times 5, which I've just written the same thing twice, which is 15. All right, x equals 10 and y equals 2. So we've got 3 times 10 minus 5 times 2. Okay, again, there's a multiply sign in here. So 3 times 10 is 30 minus 5 times 2, which is 10. And that gives us an answer of 20. All right, let's get rid of everything and start a fresh page. We're up to question 8. If y plus z equals 20 and z equals 9, then y equals. So we've got y plus z equals 20. the question has told us that z equals 9. Okay, so what must y be equal to? So you've got to think, well, what do I add to 9 to get up to 20? So think about it if you were choosing friends for a birthday party and your parents said, oh, you can have 20 people over, obviously not at the moment because of coronavirus, but they said, yep, you can have 20 friends over and you've counted 9 so far, and you're like, okay, how many more do I need to get up to 20? I need 11 more. Okay, so y is equal to 11. After we've done algebra, we're going to move on to equations, and I'll show you how you solve an algebraic equation. But a basic one like this, you should be able to do without solving algebraically. Okay, question 9. If b equals 4, then, so I saw a few people get this one wrong so far. So again, putting your substitution in brackets. Now we're only squaring that 4. So remember 4 is the same as, 4 squared is the same as 4 times 4. So it's going to be 3 times 16. So 3 times 4 squared, 3 times 16 minus 5. Now, according to BODMAS, we need to do the multiplication first. So 16 times 3, or 3 times 16, gives you 48. And then minus 5, and your answer is 43. Don't see the b squared or 4 squared as 4 times 2. It is 4 times 4. Okay, question 9. Oh, no, we just did question 9. Sorry, let's scroll up a bit. Question 10. If k equals a quarter, evaluate. So we're going to have 8. K is a quarter. I was about to write a half. So this is 8 times a quarter. Now, when we're multiplying a fraction, it basically, if you wanted to turn them both into fractions, we multiply our numerator. So we get 8 times 1, which is 8, and 1 times 4 is 4, and your final answer is 2. All right, question 11. 3 groups, each with 5k plus 3 counters, can be written as. So we've got 3 groups, so we're going to be multiplying by 3, and they all have 5k plus 3 counters. So we just put that in brackets like that, and we don't have to expand it. But remember, we don't really write algebraic expressions with that multiply sign, so I've just removed that, okay? All right, question 12. If you have 7 groups of pens, each with 2m minus 5 pens, altogether you have, so we've got 7 times, and then in brackets, 2m minus 5. Now this time they've expanded the bracket, so when we expand, the 7 is multiplying that 2m, and also that negative 5. So we've got 7 times 2m, and then plus 7 times, and just put your negative in a bracket just so we don't get mixed up. So 7 times 2m is 14m, and 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. So you can see that's in expanded form, whereas the previous question we leave it in what we call factorized form. All right, let's get another clear page. Question 13, if you have 7 groups of 8t plus 7 soccer balls, how many soccer balls do you have altogether? So we've got 7 times 8t plus 7. So again, we're expanding the brackets. So we've got 7 times 8t plus 7 times 7. Now, I didn't put anything in brackets because we're working with positive numbers, so I know I'm going to remember to do that. If you wanted to, because you're doing you need to use BODMAS to do the multiply first, you can use brackets there. So 7 times 8t gives you 56t, plus 7 times 7 is 49. All right, question 14. This one here, when the bases are the same, you can just add them up together. So if you say, well, A equals an apple, how many apples do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 5A. Question 15. You can think of A as apple again. You've got 7 apples plus another 3 apples. So altogether you've got 10 apples. Okay. When you're doing, so this relates to what we call like terms. So if I had, say, a B, which represented a banana, you'd have to write plus B. They're separate. Okay. So when you look at question 16, actually 16, you've also got like terms. So 15mn plus 2mn minus 5mn. Because these are all multiplying, you don't have to write this in, I'm just showing you, it means they're like terms. Okay, so remember, terms are only separated by a plus or a minus sign. So this is a term, this is a term, and this is a term. Okay, so they're separated by a plus or a minus sign. And they're like terms because they have the same pronumeral part. So they're both, all 3 of them have mn. And it doesn't matter if it was written as nm because we're multiplying. And when you multiply numbers together, the order doesn't matter. Okay, so if we had 5 times 2 is the same as 2 times 5. So that means m times n is the same as n times m. Okay, but in this case, they're all written mn, which is good, but we might come across one that is in a different order in a second. Okay, so think of them as lots of. So we've got 15 lots of mn, and we're going to add another 2 lots of mn, so that's 17 mn, and then we're going to subtract 5. So that negative is attached to that 5. So basically we've got 15 plus 2, which gives us 17, minus 5, so we've got 12 mn. In question 17, so I can see now that we've got some different types of terms. So I'm going to just rewrite that. 2m squared minus 3mn plus m squared minus 4mn. Okay, so this m squared is not the same as this mn. Okay, even if you had an n here, it's not the same because 2m squared is basically 2mm. And then you've got minus 3mn plus mm minus 4mn. So if it helps, you can underline your like terms in the same color. Just using my other pens here. This one's a bit of a sparkly one. Okay, so the orange terms we add together. Just going to look at what form my answer is in. Okay, so they've done the m squareds first. So I'm going to do the m squareds. So remember this is the same thing. Okay, so if you're wondering what's m squared, I've just rewritten it as mn to show you that it's different to mn. So 2m squared plus m squared gives you 3. Okay, so remember there, that is a 1m squared. And then we've got negative 3mn. Okay, so remember that minus sign stays with that coefficient. So minus 3 minus 4 gives you minus 7mn. Okay, nearly done. Question 18, fill in the missing term. So we've got 3a plus something plus 4b equals 7a plus 4b. Okay, so we've already got the b's done, but we've only got 3a on the left-hand side and we want 7a. Okay, so if it's got to equal 7a, what do we add? So if you think about it, we want to get 7 adults and 4 babies. Okay, 7a plus 4b. We've already got the 4 babies, but we've only got 3 adults. So how many extra adults do we need to add to get to 7 adults? We need to add 4 adults. So 3a plus 4a gives you the 7a. Okay. And when I use the words apples, adults, bananas, babies, whatever, that's just me making up those terms, the A and the B. are just representing numbers. Okay, so I think sometimes it just helps, not always using letters, but getting a tangible idea of what it would look like. So you know what an apple looks like, you know how to get a group of apples, etc. Okay, what are we up to? 19. Fill in the missing term. So we've got m squared plus something equals 5m squared. So we've already got one lot of m squared. We need to get up to 5. So how many more do I need? I need 4 more. So we're adding 4m squared on. And then question 20, simplify this expression by collecting your like terms. So I'm just going to write it down. Oh, it's very big, very long. Oh, it's still going. Actually, I think I might be able to, no, I'll just write it here. Probably should have written it smaller. That's okay. So this is all on one line, and that's a B. Okay, so as we did before, we can underline our like terms. So here we've got AB. So anywhere I see AB again, I'm going to underline in green, in orange. Okay, so that was the only one. So let's do the next color. We've got BC, and we've got a minus 5BC here. Let's choose another color. So we've got minus 6AC here and 14AC here. And then lastly, we'll do in yellow our constant terms, so 9 and negative 5. Okay, so if we're writing them in order, so I'm just having a look at the answer. So we've got our AB first, so 15AB. There's no other term with an AB, so we just leave it as 15AB. Now we've got our ACs. Did I miss? Oh, yeah. No, sorry. Our B, I'm just looking here to see what the next term is, but our BCs actually cancel out because we've got 5 BCs minus 5 BCs. So if you wanted to think of this as a banana and carrot juice, we've got 5 banana and carrot juices. It sounds absolutely delicious. Or maybe it didn't. And you thought, well, let's get rid of all 5 banana and carrot juices. And now we've got nothing. So that cancels out with that, basically. Then we go to our AC. Gosh, I think I need to get my eyes checked. I just couldn't say it properly. Okay, so we've got minus 6AC plus 14AC. Now, if it's easier, there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, that's the same as 14 minus 6, which gives you 8AC. So maybe you decided apple and carrot juice was a bit nicer than banana and carrot juice. And then we deal with our constant. So this is 9 minus 5, which gives you 4. So just remembering that that negative sign stays with the term. So we had minus 6AC here, minus 5 here, minus 5BC here. All right, girls. Catch you later.